Hey guys, Hisi here. Yeah, I just wanted to start today the new format here on this channel, the review format. Now the question is, what can we do here? We will discuss mangas, animes, movies, and just seasons, like now from The Rings of Power. For that, I want to talk about it, but please be patient, here will be coming spoilers, and yeah, little spoiler warning for Season 1 and Season 2. So, here we go. So, before we start with the discussion, my review, I just wanted to say, this is all my opinion, okay? I mean, you don't need to have the same opinion like me. We can be all friends. We can all have different opinions. Everyone is welcome to discuss in the in the comments down below. But please be friends, please be patient, and please, everyone can have his own opinion. I mean, The Rings of Power, the first season, was all controversial, right? What? I mean, we all loved this Lord of the Rings movies and trilogy. I mean, I think nothing else in the fantasy genre is near to Rings of the Power. I'm sorry, to Lord of the Rings. I mean, Peter Jackson did such an amazing work with it, and nothing will be ever like a Lord of the Rings. So here we are. We have Rings of the Power, the first season. I mean, it was set thousands of years before the events of the Lords of the Rings, right? And we all had this high expectations for this series. I mean, what was it? It was not near to that what we wanted to see. There were characters we thought that can be our characters, right? Just like the young Galadriel. I mean, Galadriel was some iconic character in the Lord of the Rings. And yeah, here we have just some, emotional dead fighting princess. Sorry for that. I mean, okay, she is out of context, seen a really cool character, right? I mean, when you can blend out that this is the pre-story from The Lord of the Rings, and we would just looked at it like an fantasy genre series, I think we all would be loving this series, right? I mean, she's called Galadriel, but if she was a completely different character, I think she would be much more loved, really. And yeah, we had just some problems there. I mean, we had the elves, we have the dwarves, the human, and the orcs, and every of these factions had their own motivations in this whole series. So I thought this point was really interesting. I also like Nori. I like Nori and not Gandalf to this point. I like them. When we don't had this banner over it with a lot of the rings, I think this would be a really nice fantasy series, right? The big problem to this time, and again this year again, we just had the House of Dragons, another fantasy series that was so amazing good. It's just incomprehensible. This was really a problem, I think, for Ring of the Powers in the start. So I think we need to talk about the main characters, right? I mean, in the first season, we started with this Galadriel. I mean, the series, I really had my fun with it. The first season was not that bad, how everyone was just spilling on it. The problem is that we take characters that we know from the Rings, from the Lord of the Rings, and press it into this series. I mean, if Galadriel wasn't Galadriel, just some new elf girl, elven warrior, I think everyone would say, wow, this is a cool, tough person, or cool, tough elven warrior. The problem was that we have this Galadriel that we know are this powerful elven rich from the originals, I think this was the problem for us. And yeah, in the series we get just in touch with the young Galadriel, who has somehow a problem with Sauron. I think he killed her brother or something like that, when I remember it right. Yeah, here we go. We see Galadriel, how she tries to hunt Sauron down. On her way, she has her friend or her biggest buddy, I don't know. Elrond. I mean, we know Elrond. Elrond is this cool elf out of Rings of Power, not Rings of Power, out of Lord of the Rings. He is really a really nice character in the original. I mean, that we see more of him now, I think this is not a big problem. I think they match really good so far. He was a diplomatic person in the original. He is a diplomatic person here in season 1, and season 2 somehow too. Yeah, I like Elrond, and I really like the chemistry between him and what was his name? Durin, genau. I like really the chemistry between Elrond and Durin, because they are really so good friends, and it makes so much fun to watch them. I mean, this is the highlight of the first season for me. Every time these two are in the same room, it just makes fun. It makes really fun to see them both, and I think this is the biggest miles point for myself in the second season, because we don't see them together. Yeah, so what is happening in season 1? We have just a little bit of problems in the Southland. So Galadriel and this newfound, I don't know, king, or what she thought is a king or something like that. His name was Halbrand, I think. Yes, I mean, she just traveled with Halbrand, half of Middle-earth, and then she fighted with him in the Southlands for the humans there. And on the end of it, of the whole series, you just find out that Halbrand is in real just Sauron. I mean, come on. I mean, first episode, we see Galadriel swimming through some water, and he gets saved by Halbrand. I think everyone knows this is Sauron, right? So, what is happening? Halbrand, just aka Sauron, is just smithing. Is the right word? Smithing? He is together with Celebrimbor. He is the most powerful, no, the most ambitious master smith of all elven, and with Celebrimbor, they just forged the 3 rings for the elven. And this is somehow the first season ends. The elves just got the 3 rings for the elves, and yeah, Galadriel found out that that Celebrimbor is just Halbrand, sorry, that Halbrand is Sauron, and yeah, this is yeah, something else. So just a little brand of the first season. So I like the first season somehow. I just thought it was really expensive series. I mean, all the animations, all the what we could see about the whole Middle-earth thing. There was some member berries, just how these new series just have every series, every movie have this member berry problem. But I liked it. Yeah. Maybe I would give the first season around about 3 or 5 stars, or how we will call it in this review format, 3 or 5 cauldrons. Yeah. This is just something. Maybe the series would be getting better working for me, the first season, if I don't had the first season of the House of Dragons just a few weeks before. I think this was the biggest mistake from Amazon to putting this just after the first season. And this year, right now, we had the same problem with the second season. So, here we are. The second season. Before it started, I just watched the second season of the House of Dragons. The second season of House of Dragon was not that great in the first season. But the problem of the first few episodes of the Lord of the Ring of Powers was it was just boring. It was boring as hell. It was not funny. It was really not that interesting, right? I mean, I think the first 3 episodes was just some plot building and yeah, we see how Sauron goes into the city, how was it called? Eregion, I think, where Celebrimbor is the master of the city, the burgomaster or something like that. And we see how he wants how he tries to get into his camp somehow. How he realizes he would be some holy, shiny being to Celebrimbor just to manipulate him. And yes, I think this was not that interesting, right? The problem is the second season was just a few days ago from House of the Dragons. And the season was also not the perfect, but you just felt how much better the acting was, how much better the whole story was from House of the Dragons comprehended to Ring of Powers. Nevertheless, you feel the big budget that the Amazon series just has. I mean, when you have animations here, just like CGI and something like that, it's really good. It's really good. Yes, I mean, it's really good when you have CGI. Sometimes I thought this was, or some things were really so good that I thought this must be practical effects. I just could see that this was not practical effect when I stopped middle in the scene and there was some blurriness also. But holy cow! They really did a good work with the animation, with the CGI, and when they used practical effects, we will come later to that, it was gorgeous. It was really gorgeous. I mean, we had one battle here. I will comprehend the battle later to the House of Dragon battle. One battleground. I mean, this was really cool. It was really good, and yeah, I liked it. But nevertheless, I think the second season really started with me at the 3rd or 4th episode, I think. I mean, we built it really slowly up, but we got in more and more into this, that we know that the Uruk-hai are just attacking the city where Sauron is just hiding and smithing new rings together with Celebrimbor. This time we smithed these rings for the dwarves, yeah, and the dwarves were just one into it. So, I mean, the whole story about Durin is really cool. I mean, every time when I see Durin, every time when I see the dwarves, I would like to see so much more of them. And I think the maker of the series really know this, because this whole series just felt about a story from the dwarves and the elves. The whole story of the human from I don't know how the name was called again. It's too long ago. Maybe a few hours or so. The whole story about the humans in this big human city, it just didn't work for me. it was just there. It was just there so that we can go in the first season and that we can destroy the city maybe, that we can just overflood it and show how powerful Sauron will be coming, or something else, who knows. So the whole story of the humans was so... that was there. It was there, but I don't need it, really. They could completely cut it out and I would recognize that they completely deleted the human, kingdom there. The next storyline that I missed a little bit, the last was with Nori, right? Nori, this little Harfoot, the pre-hobbits, you could say. I missed the stories with Nori. I like the whole feeling of these adventurous half-footlings like Nori and so from the first season. I mean, I enjoyed that really. I thought in the first season it was too much. But I liked the whole style of it. I liked also the little traveling around with this, not Gandalf to this time. I liked it in the first season, really. I thought a little bit that the fight for not Gandalf was a little bit over the top. I didn't need to see Gandalf to fight some, I don't know what this was, ghost, monster woman with superpowers also. I didn't need that, but we got it. So, I mean, here we go. But, yeah, I like the whole feeling about it. And I really wanted to see more of this dynamic between Nori and, I will just call him Gandalf, okay? I wanted to see more of this dynamic between Nori and Gandalf and so. And yeah, we got here scene, there scene. I mean, I think there was 1 or 2 episodes, of maybe 3 episodes, where both of them just didn't had their part in it, right? So they completely cut it out somehow. I think a whole storyline in this season of Nori and Gandalf was they come to an desert, a land, and yeah, they have to cross the desert land that Gandalf can get his staff that we know from the original and so. And yeah, I mean, we have a little episode where Nori and Gandalf got this separated. I think this is separated. Separated. And yeah, I mean, I liked the version of Tom Bombadil. I don't know if you ever read the original book of Lord of the Rings. Tom Bombadil is really a cool character. I think they captured him really good in the series. I like the playing through between Gandalf and Tom. Really? Yeah, I like this. I enjoyed the whole thing, but it was just there because it has to be there. It didn't feel like we need this to see. I mean, they just could go and say we just put out Nori and Gandalf for the complete season. Also the humans for the complete season, and we just do a storytelling about the drought in the Elves. And I think that would be getting better than just like that. I think Nori, Gandalf need their own 2 completely separate episodes to finish. Deserve to get their complete own episodes, right? But no, we don't get it. On the end, they got separated, and then Gandalf had the choice. He can go and get his power, his mojo, somehow his magic mojo. Or he goes and save his friends. This is the choice that gives him Tom Bombadil. Go there and find your staff and get your power, just like the bad wizard did. Or go and save your friends. Sure. Gandalf goes and saves his friends, right? But this whole thing was so fast, humbled. I don't know, it was just there, just put it in, And then we just finished this whole storyline of these both characters in around about 5 minutes or so. Just that we have a finishing line on this. And then Nori goes with some newfound tribe of Harfoot that were just not wandering around the world. They were just had their own homes and houses and so. And now they are going to find a new land where she can live with them or something like that. And Gandalf was there standing and finds his new staff. And then he goes back to Tom Bombadil. He just says, yeah, you wanted me that I go to save my friends, so I put my friends over the power, right? So Tom Bombadil. He invited him to a tea. They are sitting there, and then Gandalf just says something like, yeah, I'm Gandalf also. They will call me Gandalf sometimes. So we now he is Gandalf. I mean, this is also something, right? This is a cool character from the original. And now we have it here in the series. I didn't need him to be in the series. Just like Elrond, just like Galadriel. I didn't need these characters to have these names. They can just have their own story, I think. I mean, we play thousands of years, or I think 1,000 years before the original events of The Lord of the Rings, right? So, here we are. We have these characters now that we just throw around and say, here, this is Gandalf, this is Galadriel, and this is Arrow. I think, give them no names. Give them names, but give them this should be just new characters, and I think we all would like it. Yeah. So much to Gandalf. He's there, he has his stuff, and now he's just sipping his hash brownie tea with Tom Bombadil. They have a nice time, and here next season we will see how Gandalf has to stop the bad wizard. I don't know, maybe this is just Saruman or so. I'm 100% sure this is just Sauron, right? Here we are with them. So the storyline is just finished. So their main storytelling is the dwarves and the elves. I like the story build up, okay? I thought it was a little bit too long, but I like the whole idea how it was built. We got these new rings that Elrond, aka Sauron, and Celebrimbor just smithed in their own little crafting labor, whatever, laboratory. I have no idea. I like the whole idea about it. They built the rings for the dwarves this time, and the dwarves had a problem that they don't have enough sunlight, I think. There was in the first season, the volcano from Mordor was just exploding, and this whole eruption just brought the windows the windows from the dwarves to collapse. So they just had no sunlight in their minds and couldn't plant different kind of herbs and what I know. Also, they really had a problem. They needed at least sunlight somehow again. And the dwarves and the elves just get together, and the elves said Celebrimbor just brought them the rings, and with this ring the king, the father of Durin, was just there. He's prince of Khazad-dûm, and later we know Khazad-dûm as Moria, right? I mean, I hope everyone just saw this coming, right? That this will be Moria later. And Khazad-dûm, he's the prince of it. And Durin brought this ring to his father. His father just used the ring to find the right way to bring back the sunlight. So, these rings are smoothed with dark magic somehow. So, Celebrimbor and Sauron just smoothed them, and yeah, this is infecting the old king, and he's getting greedy. He's saying he wants more gold, he wants more Mishrir. He heats up the mines that everyone goes deeper and deeper in them. And we all know from the first movie from Lord of the Rings what's happening when the dwarves are digging too deep into the mines, right? Right? So yeah, again, we have member birds. We see really early a shaman right of a vision from the how was it called? Yeah. We see a shaman of the Balrog. Yes. This really big fire monster. And yeah, cool. We see the Balrog again. I mean, we now have an HD version of the Balrog. Yippee-yay. I mean, that's nice. It's a memory, right? And we all know, okay, this Khazad-dûm will sometime in the future be Moria. So, yeah, the old king wants to dig Evan Park. I'm so sorry. I will cut this off. The old king wants to dig deeper and deeper into the mines. His son wants to stop him. We have some drama between the king and his son, and so the whole storytelling was really good. We see how fast these wings infected his mind, the king's mind, and how greedy he becomes, and how dark the whole thing will be coming. Durin also just goes to Celebrimbor to call him out for what these wings are really are. Celebrimbor goes a little bit, getting a little bit more caution about the whole ring thing, and goes to Elrond. He's just in his elven form now. I have forgotten the name of the elven form. He's just calling himself a friend, Mjolnir or somehow something like this. Yeah. I mean, we see also the door. This was smoothed in this time with speak friend and go in or something like that. We know from the first movie in the first book, and so yeah, right? And yeah, all is coming from here, from this timeline. So yeah, member berries again. I liked the idea between this whole thing between Celebrimbor and Elrond, aka Sauron. In the start, they were on one line somehow. We all know Sauron is just somehow manipulating him, and yeah, but we also just see how Celebrimbor is want to be manipulated because he wants to smith those rings of power. And yeah, so they are starting to smith rings for the humans. And yeah, the problem is they don't get Mithra from the Dwarfens anymore. So Sauron is just manipulating him and gives him some of his own blood. So the rings are getting more corrupted than before. And we all know what's happening with the 9 human kings. They will be coming later, the Nazgûl, right? So now we know why these humans are getting this more corrupted than all other races. Because the rings are just more darker than the other rings. Never mind. We have this big fight going on at Eregion, and yeah, this is the last part for me. So the whole season 2 is working to go on one point, on one major event, and that's the Battle of Eregion, right? It was one of the most intense moments in both seasons, and I have to admit the battleground was amazing. It was just amazing. This battle between Ada is the father or the main leader of the Orcs, and he is leading his Orcs just with a brutal assault to Eregion. It was so strategical for the Orcs. I thought this was really amazing. They were just firing with their what was it? I don't know how they are called. They are just arming with some catapults. I think catapults is the right word for that. On the city Eregion, and the whole city is going on in flames. They destroy towers and buildings. The whole chaos is breaking out in Eregion. Celebrimbo is just smithing his rings, right? Because Sauron is manipulating his mind. Celebrimbo is thinking he is just in a peaceful world. We see all this, and we see how Adra is just attacking the city from the other side of the river. So we all think, okay, nice for Adra that he has the strategic thing there to attack the city from the other side of the river. But how he wants to attack the city? And there he goes and destroys just a whole mountain that collapsed into the river to dam this river. And then they are just having a big smoothie battleground. That's just, I don't know. It was really cool. It was so cool battleground. It just was dirty. It was authentic. It was not over the power. What I mean is they just going to Eregion over the seabed with true force. So they have not these beastly dogs from where they can just ride over. They have not 1 million of destroying tools or so. They just have manpower. They just go there and just going through this whole smoothie battleground with one big tool to attack the wall. They want to break down the wall on one point, and all is concentrating on this one thing. So this is the plan for them. Then Elrond and the king of the Elves are just leading an army. They want to defend Adar before he can get to the walls, before he can destroy the walls. And we have such a cool battleground with so many practical effects. We have a real life catapult. I think this was a real life catapult. It just looked so realistic. I mean, props to the props, right? They really did an amazing work on this. Why can I say this? I can comprehend it right to the battleground from how was it called? House of the Dragons, just I think 1 month ago or so, where we had this big battleground, where the House of the Dragons, yeah. Oh my god. We had just this big battleground there, and I think that this was cool. We had this fight between the dragons and so, but the whole thing with the humans on the ground and attacking this castle and so, it looked good. It was nice. But compared to this was so much more brutal and realistic for fantasy. I mean, so I really liked. So as we peak the main event of the battleground, and Elrond and the other elves are just get beaten because they are just outnumbered. They are waiting the help from the dwarves, from Durin and so. But Durin is not coming. He has his own problems with his father. He has to stop his father because he's getting alone into the mines and digging deeper and deeper in it. And yeah, he is awaking the Balrog. We have now an epic scene between Durin's father and the Balrog. He's just taking off this ring, has a glimpse of himself again in his eyes, and then jumps on the Balrog. And with that, he closes the hole down to the Balrog so that the Balrog can't attack. For now, Khazad-dû. An epic end for the king. Nice to see his father is getting for 1 second himself back. But yeah, this is causing that the draws are a little bit too late later to the Battle of Eregion. And yeah, Ara and his orcs are just getting to the walls of the city. They are just invading the city with brutal forces. They're killing everyone that they can find and looking out for this for Sauron. No, I haven't. Sauron is just calling himself Anatar this time. Yeah, Anatar, right. This is in his elven form. He wants to call it Anatar, right. I can't remember that. So, the problem is now that his forces going into the city. They coming to this tower where this smith is, and yeah, they found him. Celebrimbor was just killed in pain from Sauron because Sauron was really angry because Celebrimbor just get the rings away from him. Galadriel has somehow get them. I don't know why Galadriel was just right on point, and then this was not working for me. This was in episode 7, I think. That everyone just saying, oh, there's Galadriel. Yeah, she has not the rings. Perfect, let her go. And yeah, then Celebrimbor goes back, and yeah, he gets killed by Sauron. This is not a nice death. Let's say it like that. Never mind. The really interesting thing is the orcs just coming up in the tower, finding their Sauron, and yeah, Sauron is just manipulating them. They do some shaman. They do just like they would be the best man for Arthur, his best commander or something like that. We see him since season 1 every time again. So this one dude just gets almost killed by Sauron, and then they bring him back to Arthur, and yeah, this orc is just killing Arthur. It was just a shaman. And then we have a battle between Galadriel and between Sauron. This fight is somehow confusing, but also interesting. I don't know. It was really a good fight with some good practice scenes and so. Nothing I needed to see, but now we have it. I mean, yeah, this was a good fight, and Galadriel somehow got the rings, the 10 rings. Yeah, no, she loses the 10 rings, but she has the 1 ring left for herself, and not the 1 ring, but her ring that she got from Celebrimbor last season, and so yeah, she survived. Sure, she must be. This is the problem. Here are we at the problem. That would be a really epic fight. This would be a really epic death for the character Galadriel, because she got deadly wounded, and I think this was some point I was not interested. I thought this when the character, I know the character can't die, so the whole fight against Sauron is not working for me, because I know she can't die. We know she has to survive, and this is really a dumb thing. Would this not be if this is not Galadriel, just a generic elf that we see since season 1? This could be the one point where we see dying this one character that we really maybe care about, because we don't know if she survives or not. But because we know it's Galadriel, we know she survives, and the whole fight is not that important how it should be, right? And yeah, this is the end of the Battle of Eregion somehow. Ada just got killed. The Orcs just killed almost everyone in Eregion. The dwarves coming in the last minute to save the last elves remaining, bringing them out of the city, bringing them to what I think should be later the main city from the first season from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I think the fights, the whole battle and so was really cool. I thought the whole CGI, when we saw CGI, the whole animation things were really cool. I think it's just somehow a shame that we now know of the main characters can die. We can care less about them now. Because we know there's Gandalf. Gandalf can't die. Because we know he can die. We have, how's it called? Tom Bombadil. We know Tom Bombadil can't die. Why do we know this? Because we read the books or we see the cutted out scenes from Lord of the Rings where Tom Bombadil was in. We know that the Dark Wizard is maybe Sauron. We know that Galadriel can't die. Elrond. We know that the, how was it called? Durin can't die, because we know Durin has his part later. His son is fighting against a dragon in the future, right? I mean, these are all things we know these characters can't die. They have no real consequences. The only people that really can have consequences are the humans in this one human city that we didn't get enough this time. I mean, there's just some little plot there. The queen was just thrown out of her from the throne. And I mean, this whole thing, yeah, okay, we have it. Nice to know, but it's not really interesting. It's not really what's catching me on the series. I think the whole build-up for this big battle round was really good. And I thought the battle round on himself was also really good. I think if I have to give this a rating this series. So when House of the Dragon Season 1 was 5 of 5 code runs for me. Then the second season from House of the Dragons would be 4 of 5 code runs, right? The first season of A Lord of the Rings, I would give it 2.5 code runs maybe. So 50% maybe. And then I would give this season of Lord of the Rings, Rings of the Power, I think 3.5 code runs. Because I see the improvement from the first season to the second season. Because I see the complete budget that goes in there. We see that it looks really cool, epic and everything. But I think the characters has really to improve. So yeah, more is not in it for Rings of the Power for me. We have much better fantasy series in the past. But I think a third season would be nice. I would absolutely look at a third season of it. And I want to see how this whole thing end up. I just want to see how the humans get the rings. I want to see how they turn into the Nazgul. And I want to see Sauron in his complete battle outfit that we saw in the first movie. I want to see this one big battle between elves with humans against Sauron and his army. I want to see this. I want to see it in the today's quality of CGI or whatever, and practical effects, and I don't know. I want to see this really. And I hope we can get there next season. Because I just want to see that, right? And sure, I want to see the One Ring. I want to see how Sauron is just making this one ring and how he controls with this one ring the other rings. I want to see how he can control with the ring the other elves. What is this? I mean, we know the one ring has the power to yeah, you know it, right? I want to see this. I want to see this practical. I want to see how he can control the other ones. I mean, he didn't control the Gruff King, right? He just corrupted his mind. He made him just more greedy. And the elfen, they are just getting more, not greedy, they are just getting a little bit too self-aware, I think, somehow like that. And I want to see how he can use that to get little elf under his control. I mean, you know what I meant, right? I have just high expectations for the next season, and I hope the next third season, I hope this is the final season. I don't need a fourth season of this, right? But I want to see a good final season for the series, because the first season was just a little bit of hooking. The second season showed me how we can, where we can go with this whole thing. There was so stupid things in the second season. Again, I know we had some Orcs. I'm sorry, Orc is just yeah, you know what I mean. We just had some Orcs with Child and Mom, and yeah, I know this is completely stupid. If you just ever have seen Eregion, or you know how Orcs are produced, they are not some they have not a family family ship or something like that. It's not like that with Orcs, right? But never mind, I want to see how this whole thing ends. And yeah, I think it's worth watching it when you have the time. Would I say this is the best series of this year? No, not even close. Not even close. I almost think about that Agatha all along is better fantasy witch thing series right now than a lot of the Ring of the Powers, just because of the budget, right? I mean, Marvel just put in so much budget in different series in the past. Now they give them just a normal TV series budget, really low budget, and for that it's a really good series. And I think when you give a series such a big amount of budget like Amazon did with the Ring of Powers, I expect much more. So yeah, 3.5 cauldrons for me for Ring of the Powers. I hope you can go with my review here and with my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think of Ring of the Powers. Let me know what you think of this format here. Just talking, let me talking about something like that. For maybe too long, for too long. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed. We will see next time, guys. And yes, just like ever, stay covered here and wait, not game on. Movie on? Okay, game on, guys. You must stay with that. Bye.